What up, athletes? Whoop, whoop. All right, we're here to cover 2.4 variables on both sides. And your learning target today is I will solve problems with variables on each side. Look at that. Make sure you write that down. Boom, boom, boom. Pause it if you need to. All right, there we go. All right, awesome. Evaluate each expression for x equals -2. You work that out, guys, and I'm assuming you're going to pause it because I'm not going to take too awful long. Take a little drink of my tea. It's throat-soothing tea. How about that? Okay, let's do this. So when I evaluate, guys, I just plug in and I solve. So I'm going to have 3 times -2 minus 5, which is -6, minus 5, or -11. Yeah. Up here, I have a negative, and then don't forget, that negative is not the same as the -2. -2 goes in parentheses, over 2, plus 3. 2 negatives, they're touching, make a positive. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. -5 times -2 squared plus 1. Guys, please put your numbers in parentheses when you're filling in and subbing in. This is the biggest mistake I see happening. -2 squared is +4, not -4. So this ends up being -5 times +4 plus 1, which that's -20 plus 1, or -19. Yeah. And last but not least, this one's really going to noodle your brain out. Okay, I have a negative. And then it's going to be -2 cubed. Let's write out what that means. That's -2 times -1. Okay, guys, we're looking at, today's all about what if we have variables on each side and the different situations that involve that, whether it be with distribution, with fractions, or neither. And we're going to talk about solutions, because there's 3 things you can have. You can either have no solution, 1 solution, or infinite solutions. We're going to hit that later. But for right now, let's go ahead and take a look at this bad boy. And what does it say? It says, look at the following equations. All right. So, guys, here's the first thing we need to do. 1, get variables on one side. All right. I'm going to choose the left because I can subtract 2x over minus 2x, and it stays positive. I usually choose whichever side keeps it positive, but it really doesn't matter. I could have easily subtracted 8x over there, but let's do this. And I'm going to have 6x minus 11 equals 3. Now, get constant on other side. So our constants are like our -11 or our 3. How do I move a -11 over? I'm going to add 11. All right. And really, once we're at this step right here, we can treat it like we normally do. We circle all the x, or we square the x's. We get rid of everything else, plus 11, plus 11. 6x, boom, equals 14. And then, what do? We circle the x, so we're going to get rid of the 6. We divide by 6, and simplify, and we get that. So step 3 is really just solve, right? And let's see, 2 goes into there 3 times, 2 goes in there 7 times, so this is 7/3. There we go. You want to say 2 1/3 and knock yourself out. I just want improper fractions. Okay, let's do this again. You ready? Again, pick which side you want to get your variables on. I want to go ahead and again subtract 4a to the left, minus 4a, minus 4a. And I end up with 5. 7a minus 4a is plus 3a equals -13. Square off that. Got to move 5 over here, so I got to subtract 5 from both sides. Remember, I'm negative getting more negative, so that is 3a equals -18. And now I want to get rid of that 3, and it's multiplication. Undo that with division. Division, boom, a equals. What's a negative divided by a positive? It's negative. 18 divided by 3 is 6. A equals -6. Look at that. Take a minute. Try this last one. See if you can do it on your own. See how far you get. I'm going to take a quick drink, so pause this. By the way, you may be looking at this going, what's this all about? Well, it was Spirit Day for Neon, so this represented the freshmen since I'm primarily a freshman teacher. Hey, here we go. All right, let's try this out. Notice that this time it's a negative 13c. I want to keep it positive, so I'm going to add 13c to both sides. Now I have 5. That's gone. Equals, and I've got 4c plus 13c is 17c plus 39. I'm going to leave that alone, so I'm going to subtract 39 from both sides. Now I've got negative 34 equals 17c. I want to solve for c, so I got to undo multiplication with division. Divide both sides by 17. And I get that c equals negative 34. Negative divided by a positive is negative. 34 divided by 17 is 2. Boosh. Some good stuff. All right, let's keep moving on. Take a minute, pause this, try reading this, underline what you think is important, and we'll talk about it. Okay, I'm assuming you pause this. Let's read it together. Marley and Bennett are training to run a marathon. In the first week of training, now we're talking about Marley. So I'm just going to set a little M up right here from Marley. Well, Marley. Marley runs 11 miles, and Bennett runs 14 miles. So 11 miles, right? And we got Bennett, good old Bennett. And Bennett runs 14 miles. Okay? Each week, Marley increases, that means adds, her weekly total by 2 miles. So, first of all, we're going to let W equal weeks. So she's going to add 2 times her weekly total. So if it was, week 2 or week 1, right? We're going there. All right, and then Bennett, what does it say? And Bennett increases his weekly total by 1.5 miles. So he's going to be plus 1.5 W. Right, solve an equation to find how many weeks. I guess I didn't wait for the how many weeks part. Remember, the question always tells us the variable, so let W equal weeks. And I know this is technically the first week, but it says how many weeks after the first week, right? So we're kind of ignoring the first week. And we're just saying we start off with 11, and we're adding in 2 per week. Here we're starting off with 14, adding in 1.5 per week. When will their running be the same number of miles? Well, if they're the same, then we're going to set these equal to each other. So 11 plus 2W equals 14 plus 1.5 W. And let's roll with that. So I'm going to subtract 1.5 W from both sides. That brings 11. 2 minus 1.5 is 0.5. W equals 14, and that's gone. Now let's subtract 11 over, and I get that 0.5 W equals 3. Divide both by 0.5. Use a calculator if you need to, but really we're just saying how many halves go into 3? Well, that's going to be 6, so it equals 6 weeks. It's going to take 6 weeks for them to be running the same mileage each day. And so guess what? That means, how many weeks are the first training? Okay, so let's look at problems involving distribution. Boom. Lots of work today. So let me move this on up. And basically it's the same thing, except first step is always going to be distribution. We want to distribute first. So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times plus t is plus 2t equals 8t. And now Again, I want to keep it positive, so I'm going to subtract 2t from both sides, minus 2t, and it actually makes our problem easier, right? Because then I get 2 equals 6t. Divide both sides by 6, and we know that that simplifies. 2 goes into 2 once, goes into 6 3 times. 1/3 equals t. Boom. Let's try this one right here, guys. 7 times n is 7n. 7 times minus 1 is minus 7 equals. Now, we got to distribute the negative 2. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. Negative 2 times positive n is negative 2n. And since that's negative, let's add it over. Plus 2n plus 2n. Now I've got 9n minus 7 equals negative 6. Boom. We want to get rid of everything else, so add 7 to both sides. I get that 9n equals 1. Divide both sides by 9, and n equals 1/9. Yeah. I'm going to help you start this one, but then I want you to finish it. You might be thinking, where's the distribution? Well, remember what I said? It's like the top is in parentheses, right? Because it's all in the numerator. So we have to start this one right here by getting rid of the denominator. And we're going to do that by multiplying everything by 4. Because 4 over 1, right? Crosses that out, so times 4 over here. So now I'm left with 20y equals 12y plus 16. Go ahead and finish that out. Ready, set, go. Okay, I'm assuming you pause this. Let's do it. Minus 12y minus 12y. 8y equals 16. Divide both sides by 8, right? Because we want to get rid of everything else. And I get that y equals 2. Man, we're burning through some problems. Let's go to the back side. A nice little problem up top. Find the values of x. Here, I'm going to actually move this down. Just move me around while I'm doing it. Find the values of x so that the figures have the same area. Okay, well, don't forget, the area of a rectangle is length times width. The area of a triangle is area equals base times height.